Yeah.
Good.
All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for cooking together today. We're making quick pasta and chickpeas. Pasta e ceci, I think is the way they say it. And we were hoping to be joined by a friend in Rome, but when she realized that it's 11:30 there and she's got early morning meetings, I think we are going to be cooking without her today, unfortunately. So this is a really easy one. Hi, lady, how are you? This is a really easy one, and I kind of was going to start to move us when we didn't have, guest chefs to make some international recipes. I was going to look for things that maybe are a little bit more like kind of one pot meals. And this was one of the first ones that I kind of thought, it's not really a soup. It's kind of like a side and it's kind of a soup. So if you see more of those popping up, just give me some feedback and let me know if you guys kind of like this idea. But I figure for our purposes of sharing with people who are food insecure or giving them some kind of a little gift of something, it works, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You can vote as we go. Hi, Marge. All right, so luckily, and Marge will be happy, we don't have to cut any onions today, right?
We don't have to cut anything. This is Rabbi Marge here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
How do
not a lot of chopping.
I have to change my name.
Yes.
Let me become Chef Marge.
All right, you do that. I'm gonna go turn on my burner and start to heat up my olive oil, and then we're just gonna quickly cook up the garlic and add the tomato paste and the spices, and we'll get right into it.
Let's see. Oh. Let's check. $4.26.
Anybody try using dried chickpeas for the first time today?
No.
Nope. Okay. Everybody's sticking.
I did.
You did? How'd it go?
Good. I soaked it in the morning, first in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and then I started cooking it. I cooked it in my pressure cooker at like 2:00,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it's nice and soft.
Good. And you're saving the water because you're going to use that. Good. Perfect.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
True. I like how the recipe calls for you stir the garlic until it becomes light, barely brown, but very fragrant. It's not just fragrant, it's like really fragrant.
Exactly.
I can live.
Love that. Betsy, weren't you in Italy last year? Did I make that up? Maybe 2 years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They claim this is like everywhere in Rome.
Right. So if you're in Miami, you have to eat key lime pie, and if you're in Italy, this is what you eat.
Good to know.
Yeah, we were in Tuscany for a week with friends who invited us to stay at a villa.
That was
And
last
then
year.
we spent a couple extra days in Florence, and how bad can that be?
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's
That
great.
was 2022. That was not 2021, was it?
2022.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
You remember better than I do. So
That's because I was so envious and happy for you.
thank you. It was a great trip.
What do you guys use to smash garlic?
Wait, sorry?
I said, what do you use to smash your garlic?
A chef's snack. Yeah, we were just talking about that. One way to do it is go ahead and peel your garlic cloves and then put them down on a cutting board with like a kind of wider knife. And then you just smash the wide part of the knife down onto the clove. And then you can chop it a little bit this way and that way. And then take the blade of the knife and rub it into the cutting board so that you're really smashing that garlic. Does that make sense what I was saying, old lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's how we were taught by somebody to do it, and it works. But you know, you can do whatever you want to do. Do people have those old garlic mincers, garlic press?
Yeah, I usually use the press.
You can use that. You know, that one annoys me because so much of it gets stuck that
Get stuck, yeah.
yeah, I end up kind of,
And you have to like dig it out. Yep.
yeah.
You know, you can always use the jar from Costco. That works just as well.
There you go.
So, but I want to talk about pasta. Can we talk about pasta? So I couldn't find any of those cute little round, whatever they're called, diddleinos or dilettantes or whatever. But I have orzo, and I probably have elbows downstairs, but I think orzo is probably better, don't you think?
I do.
All those times I tried to find orzo and I couldn't find it for all the soup. Now, so when I saw it, I bought it. I bought 2 packages. So now I have orzo. I'm very proud of myself.
Perfect. All right, Betsy, is it getting very, very fragrant? Mine is.
Beautifully so, and I already added the tomato paste and salt and red pepper flakes.
Oh, you are a fast one.
Well, you snooze, you lose. And then I added some of the water, the broth, into the can of tomato paste, so I don't lose any of the tomato paste.
I'm right behind you. Love it. Since everybody's so busy at this beginning stage, I should have set us up with some Italian music. Let's see if we can do it.
We should have sent a gondola over and we could ride up and down the Potomac.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
It certainly does. It's funny, I'm looking at this pasta and it tells me it only takes 5 minutes to cook.
Mm-hmm. The orzo?
The orzo, you know, the other interesting thing it says,
Hmm.
boil 5 minutes, stirring frequently. Remove from heat, add 1 cup of cold water to have the pot stop cooking to lower the cooking temperature. That's not a bad idea.
Well, put yours in really at the end, right?
I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
not going to put it in yet. I'm going to let it go to a boil. Maybe let it cook for, maybe let it cook 10 minutes and see where I'm at. Oh, and I have to go harvest rosemary. My rosemary, which usually makes it through the winter, we had a mild winter, did not do that well this year. And it looks kind of stalky outside. So I don't know if that means that it's going to come back or not. So
I think it does, but
Oh,
we'll
good.
see.
Okay. Well, I bought a rosemary plant. The Giant has been selling these plants, and I think Trader Joe's has them also. At first, I bought basil because, of course, you can't get that in the wintertime. And this stuff drinks up a lot of water, but I had them sitting in those very small plastic dishes, you know, bottoms for underneath pots, and you just keep adding water to it and it sucks it up. So I thought, well, this is good. So I bought some parsley. And I think it's an economical way to have vegetables because it's certainly less expensive than going and buying parsley every time you need it.
Uh-huh.
But the basil is doing beautifully. So the other day I bought rosemary to see how it's doing, and I might decide to plant that outside or might not. I mean, for $3.99, it's the same as it costs to buy, maybe even $1 less than it costs to buy them at Home Depot.
Uh-huh. Fantastic.
Yes, so there's an idea for everyone if you have a sunny windowsill.
All right, and I'll play us some tunes while everyone's busy putting this all together.
Okay, here's a question. If you add in if you do cans,
Yeah.
how much do you think, how much water would you add in addition? I didn't measure it out.
Oh, I don't know, because the instructions were, and Denise did it, to add all that liquid and then bring it up to 15.
For me,
But
it was 4 cups of liquid from the 6 cans of chickpeas.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you. Perfect.
You're welcome.
So it would be 12 cups of water. Yes?
Yes,
Add
8,
12.
yes. But
Oh,
you
it's
know what
15
I'm gonna-
altogether. 15
Isn't it
altogether.
15 altogether?
So it's
Yeah.
11. 11.
Yeah.
Thank you for my good math skills here.
So I did, that's interesting that I did not measure mine either. I did 8 cups of water. No, I didn't. I did less than 8, probably about 7 cups of hot water plus whatever was in the can. So I'm pretty much on target, it looks like. Of course, now I want to add that cup of cold water after it cooks, because one of my complaints about all of the soups we do with pasta is they sit in the pot and they just suck up all the moisture as the soup is cooling. And I don't know a way around that unless you cook the pasta separately and throw it in after the fact, you know, after you cool to a reasonable temperature.
Yeah, I mean, part of what people are going to do is add water while they reheat, you know?
Also true.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I don't know, it's a beautiful color.
So I didn't measure. I think I ended up with so much liquid. So I added half a bag of kale.
You know, I have frozen spinach. I should look at that.
And Joyce, you're done?
I'm done. It's
And?
cooling.
You
It's
like it with?
Yeah, it's really delicious, but I wanted to ask you, but I'm really into presentation and the garnish.
Yeah.
So garnish with, I don't know, fresh rosemary or.
That's a nice idea. I mean, what I did, I think that'd be nice. I pounded my rosemary and mixed it all in, but if you had a sprig you could put on top, that would be so pretty. Right?
Okay. Okay.
Is your soup still out? Can we see what it looks like with the kale in it?
It's out on the patio cooling.
Oh, okay. Okay. But you liked it as an addition, huh?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, good. Okay, good.
So how many quarts do you think all this is going to amount to? Because, you know, I've been making like 8 quarts, but I don't think I'm going to get 8 quarts at all this time.
I think think I did when I tried it.
You did get 8 quarts?
So
Okay,
it's going to be in the ballpark.
okay.
So I'm still intrigued with the idea of refrigerator soup. Scavenging whatever one has in their freezer and their refrigerator. And I'm sure it's like, the cooking shows, you need to have some basics
Yeah.
and all of that. Because I just found a half a bag of edamame, which I threw in the soup because I wanted to get rid of it. But I think that might be a fun experiment sometime.
It would be so fun. So fun. I think Dominique would be a good leader on that. I'll ask her.
I don't have anything in my freezer. I've already thrown it into all the soups. Actually, I do have cauliflower, and I don't think the cauliflower, I have a bag of frozen cauliflower, and it doesn't sound good, but the spinach I'm going to throw in.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to throw it in yet. I think I'm going to let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to throw in the pasta, and then I'll throw in the spinach at the end because it will warm up just
Right.
by sitting in having the soup cool.
Yeah.
So one thing I thought about this soup that we didn't include is sometimes these soups have, you put in the rind of Parmesan cheese.
Oh, good idea.
Well, it was listed, but I just thought for the sake of not making it no longer dairy free that because you're taking it out anyway. But yeah, it's one of the add-ons that people eat.
Okay.
Okay.
Clearly spend too much time in Italy tasting all the soups.
No such thing.
Marge, when was the last time you were there?
The last and only time I was there must have been, I think it was it was an anniversary trip. And I don't know if it was our 30th or our 25th. I think it was our 25th, which is going back, a long time. How long have I been married? What year is this? I don't even know. David, when did we go to Italy? Our 25th anniversary or our 30th? He also says 25. So that would have been, wow, that would have been, that can't be right. That would have been,
That was probably about
that would have been
4.
2010. It would have been 2010. Is that right? It could be right.
And
What part of Italy did you go?
We went to Venice, which I absolutely loved. I mean, I totally loved it. And we went to Florence, which was also magnificent. And we went to Pisa, which is just, you go, you see the tower, you see the church, and it's like, okay, big deal. And you see all the McDonald's signs and all the stupid, it was very commercialized, nothing. There was, other than the tower, which is very beautiful, there's nothing there. And we went to Rome, and I was not a big fan of Rome. I think it was because it was at the very end of the trip, and we were rushing around, and we had to get to the airport, and all of this stuff going on. And the Colosseum gave me the creeps. Absolutely would never go there again. When you think about what went on there, it just upset me too much. And then the Vatican, whereas there's some magnificent art, there's also a little bit of overkill. There's so much ostentatious wealth that it bothered me as well. So some of it was just magnificent and beautiful, and some of it was like, really, people are starving all over Europe, and you're busy commissioning all this expensive stuff, which of course is supporting artists, which is a nice thing. So it's a toss up there. I don't think I spent enough time in Rome to really judge it fairly. But what I saw I prefer going back to Florence, and I prefer going back to Venice, and I'd like to do, the Lake Como area and things like that I haven't seen. But before that, I'd like to go to Spain and Portugal.
Do you have a plan? Are they in the works?
Yeah, we had a plan to build a garage on this house, and we've been living here for what, 38 years or something? It's not.
Plans don't really, come to fruition over there.
It takes me a while. Yes, it takes it takes some of us. Well, we did we did all the renovation inside the house. That took a while to get to, but we eventually did it. You know, these things we do things in phases.
Okay, fair enough.
Has anyone had the opportunity to travel in Sicily?
Had the what in Sicily?
Joyce, travel in Sicily. Extraordinary. It's like the way Italy must have been 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Just beautiful and rustic and wonderful food and a very slow pace. I didn't know what to expect and I was just thrilled. It was wonderful. Yeah.
And the people are so kind.
Yeah.
Do they speak English? I mean, you know, in Italy, they speak English. I mean, enough of them speak English that you can communicate with no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
I agree. The food was fabulous in Italy. It was lovely.
Mhm.
We went to an olive grove or whatever and had a wonderful meal. And of course, got to see the olive presses. And that was kind of interesting because, you know, how I use olive oil all the time. That was nice. And we went to, where was it? Out near where they make the chocolate. I don't even remember anymore. But into the rolling hills there. And it's lovely to just look out and see the countryside. It is beautiful. Okay,
So-
we'll have to go back.
So Mark, I'm not bringing soup to you tomorrow, correct?
You can bring soup to me tomorrow if you bring it before. When is your exercise class? Isn't it early?
9.
I suspect, you could call me. I suspect if you want to bring it before that, yeah.
Oh,
I'm not sure when we're leaving.
oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, so if you want to bring it early, you can, but then
Okay.
if you don't bring it tomorrow, you can't bring it till Saturday.
right, okay.
Okay.
No, I could drop it at 8:30, or I'll just leave it at your front door if the door's not open.
Before you do that, you definitely need to call me, and so I can tell you where we are, because it's conceivable that we might not be here if
Oh.
David gets up early.
Okay,
My husband worked for years and was at work by 6 a.m. He's now working in the den, and he doesn't wake up until 8. It's like, really?
nice, that's nice.
It's funny to me. I mean, because he woke without an alarm clock, so I was always, that's weird, you know, good for him.
Mhm.
I, on the other hand, needed an alarm clock and used to yell at the alarm clock. You know, only be time. So the alarm clock would go off, and of course, David was already at work by the time my alarm clock went off, and he would then call to wake me up, which was a nicer way to wake up, but still.
You know, hotel rooms no longer have clocks,
Really?
generally speaking. They do
Because
not
they
have
assume
clocks. They assume
people-
everybody has their phone and that's what wakes you up in the morning, or whatever.
Well, if I'm going on vacation, I don't want to be awakened by anyone. However, if I were working, yeah, I guess I would have to have someone wake me up. My son went to work in Anchorage today.
Well,
Yes, Alaska. I saw that jaw drop.
What does he do?
He works in hospitals. He works on, he does work on the brains of the infusion pumps. So he does software loads and, you know, checks them out and all that kind of stuff.
So is this a
Oh.
long term?
No,
gig?
only 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh.
it's good. So that's good. But yeah,
yeah. Oh,
he was in
is it
Salt Lake.
cold?
Is he what?
Is it cold there and snow?
I looked at the temperature. When I first looked, it was going to be in the 40s this week, but now it looks like it's barely going to hit 40.
Okay.
But it's not getting that cold at night. So it'll be, you know, in the 30s. It'll be below freezing. He was in Salt Lake City last week and it snowed. So, you know,
Okay, so he travels a lot.
he travels all the time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because, you know, because you're in multiple hospitals, you're servicing equipment all over the country. So,
So he'll be with the chosen frozen.
yes, he'll be with the chosen frozen. I can't imagine. I just can't even imagine. Oh, must be time for me to add my Orzo.
My husband's in Armenia.
Oh,
Where it's also cold, correct? How cool is it over there? Is it bad or is it like in the 50s?
The weather in Armenia, it's a little bit colder than it is here.
Okay, so yeah.
so what, you fly to Frankfurt and then change? How do you get there?
Either that or Amsterdam, I can't remember, but
Mhm.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
So the soup just says to simmer it, not boil. Like, will the pasta make it on time? And the peas won't be mushy.
You know, I wouldn't add the peas. What are you using, frozen peas?
No. I mean the chickpeas.
Oh, you know what? It's a very soft, because you've already cooked them. So they are
Yeah.
soft and they don't fall apart, but they're very soft. So when you're eating the
Okay.
soup or whatever, it's very nice.
Okay.
I'm thinking about adding kale. Should I do it to the whole thing? You're a big fan. Yeah, go for it. Okay. All right.
So my question is, when the pasta is ready, is that
Mhm.
when the soup is finished? mean, my
Yes. Well, you know,
Okay.
you're going to taste it and adjust seasonings. And if you're going to
Okay.
use something like spinach that doesn't cook long, you put that in quickly, stir it around, and then you're done.
Okay, looks good.
Oh, good.
Wow, we're gonna make a 30-minute soup. That's very exciting.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Fast recipe.
Yes.
Yes, it was good to see no chopping.
I
And
know.
no chopping. We're not cooking this coming week, correct?
No, we are.
We are cooking.
yeah.
What are we doing?
We are making a green curry something delicious.
Oh, I looked at the recipe. I didn't realize that it was going to be on the 10th. I thought we had talked about skipping a week.
We had, but you know, it's kind of an awkward, it's not really where people are going to be doing Easter or people are going to be doing Passover and Ramadan's the whole month. So I just liked this recipe and put it on there. And the other reason was I have a whole bunch of butternut squash that I had cubed up and put in the freezer.
Oh,
So if anybody wants to cook with me, it's a really good looking soup. It's from that Samin Nasrat who did the hot, sour, what is it? Sweet, you know, the book I mean, and the TV show. Heat, salt, fat, and what's the citrus one?
butternut squash.
No, anyway, she
Acid.
does great
Everybody-
recipes.
Acid.
Yes, acid. So I'm really looking forward to this recipe. And if anyone wants to cook with me, it'll be on Monday. The following Monday is when Vered Gutman, the chef from Israel, will be joining us. So that should be a fun one, a post-Passover fun one. And it's a soup that she's created that does use meat, but she's given us a meat-free alternative.
Is she from Israel or is she an Iranian Jew? Maybe she's from Israel, but her family was from Iran. I
Maybe.
think that, I don't know. I could find out. We could ask her.
Yeah,
I did a cooking class with her at 6th and I once, and it was great fun.
Yeah. That's great. Do you remember what you made?
There was a green tahini something
Uh-huh.
and a chicken. It was all very simple.
Yeah.
I have the recipes. I can't quite remember precisely, but
Yeah. Oh, good. She seems awfully nice. I'm excited to have her join us.
She catered one of our meals one year. Was it Rosh Hashanah? I'm not sure because my daughter works at 6th and I, so we hear about this. So meanwhile, look at these. See these?
Are those from your garden?
These are from my garden from last summer, and they
Amazing.
were completely volunteers.
Uh-huh.
And the biggest one, which is this fat boy, is maybe, I'll be generous, it's maybe 5.5, maybe 5 inches long. And this one's like maybe a quarter of an inch longer, but it's kind of skinnier. And then this one is this little itsy bitsy baby.
They are so adorable. I think you ought to just like put them on a shelf. How can you cut into
No,
those things?
because they're going to eventually go bad. So I'm going to use them. I thank you for giving me an opportunity to use them. But I also bought some frozen squash to contribute to the activity. Giant still had butternut frozen squash. I was wondering if they had stopped, but they still had it
Oh, good.
last week.
Excellent. I was worried, but I already love the green edition. It looks great.
Mhm.
All right, so who's doing major cooking this coming week? I want to know why a lady is blowing up a smiley balloon. Does that have something to do with the soup?
Nope, because my son asked me too.
Good mom. All right, who's cooking and who's celebrating but not cooking things?
Yes, I saw that.
What did he just say?
Oh no, he was telling me he had a smiley face. I'm like, yeah, I know he had a smiley face. You know how kids like to point out the obvious.
How old is he?
6. He just turned 6. Yeah.
Very sweet. So Betsy is getting to go see Angels in America tomorrow, I learned. Has anybody seen that? I saw it years ago.
The review in the Post is just
Stunning.
raving, a rave, yeah.
Great.
So yeah, tickets fell into my lap, so my apologies, but
No, I love when that happens. That's great.
Is that a movie or a play?
It
it is a play at the Arena Stage, and I think it was first staged about 20 years ago. Does that sound right? Maybe even longer. About it must be longer because it was about the beginning dealing with AIDS, and it speaks from various different perspectives and is really of the era. So it will be interesting to see how it feels now.
How it
Yeah.
translates. I'm curious. You'll have to remember to tell us.
Will do.
the one that has 2 or 3 parts, right? Millennium is one of them, and isn't that show?
I think at least, well, when it's staged, I don't know, when it was the movie, there were 3 elements, three periods of time. So I
gotta look
but
it
in
up. I think there's like on Broadway, it's shown in 2 parts, maybe one night a week. It's both shows, and then other nights you can go see part 1 or part 2. And I think I saw part 2 again like 2 years ago. And then I hadn't gotten to see the first part, or vice versa, or whatever. I think this is the show I'm thinking of.
I think, and each one can stand on its own,
Yeah,
I think, but yeah.
yeah, it was interesting. I had forgotten.
So you're right. I'm reflecting on the review, and he said we can't wait until the second part. So that was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is very tasty, very tomatoey.
Very good.
Okay, is that a good thing? Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Okay.
My problem is that my orzo did not cook in the 5 minutes that it's that, that it was simmering. So it's sitting now simmering with the spinach. So by the time the whole thing's, calms down.
Yep.
And also adding the spinach means I really don't have to add any more liquid because the spinach, came out of the freezer 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone add green peas to theirs? I have that in the freezer because that was one of the options.
Yeah, I was going to, and I took that bag of peas out, and it was like, I think my husband used it to like ice some perceived injury. And so that whole bag was right into the compost. So I didn't actually, yeah. Anybody use peas?
I used edamame because that's what was in my freezer.
Mhm.
Well, I may add peas.
Good. We need to.
I think it needs the color.
The color is beautiful. Yeah, that it adds.
Yeah, I have some kale. Maybe I'll throw it in. How much kale did you add?
I had a bag. Oh, Joyce already made hers. Joyce, how much kale did you add?
Used half a bag of kale.
I had close to 10 ounces, and there's
Oh,
plenty of room for more.
You used the whole bag?
No, close to. I had
Oh.
some of the kale already, but not a lot.
I used a
So I
whole
have a
big-
16-ounce bag. That's probably too much.
Wait, Terry, what were you saying?
I said I used a whole big bag of kale, but I doubled the recipe. So
Oh,
Doubled what
I've got a huge pot and it could fit all of it in. I am actually banking things myself. I am on May 5th, I'm having a hip replacement. So yeah.
your bag will drop off for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exciting. You're going to be like all active and great again in another couple of months.
I just want to be able to walk again. I feel, it makes me feel old though,
Yeah, yeah. Well, you have to look forward to feeling young again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
that's great. So May 5th, huh?
Mhm.
All right, you'll have to let us know or ask.
Now, I'm in the process of rearranging my kitchen to put everything at like waist high or whatever, because I'm not going to be able to bend for 3 months. So, yeah,
Where do you live? I think you're in Potomac somewhere, right?
yeah.
Where do you live? Terry, where do you live?
Sorry,
Where do you live?
I'm not hearing you.
Oh, all right. I'll ask another time.
yeah. Maybe she's in River. There you are. Are you in River Falls?
I lost my audio temporarily.
Oh.
So this was originally a Smitten kitchen recipe. I don't know if anybody goes back and looks at the original recipes, but she had made it. She's a chef, a food blogger and chef in Manhattan. And she had made it originally. She has 2 little kids with little circle spaghetti-o type things. Did you all eat spaghetti-os growing up? It looks so much like it. It's that tomatoey sauce and these little round circle pastas. I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but it sure brought back memories. Oh, remember the little meatballs they put in there? Those were so gross. I can only imagine what was in them.
So I used red pepper flakes and it's got a really nice kick, not too much. And I wondered if there are people who use black pepper or red pepper in their soups.
I use both.
I use the flakes.
I like the spinach. The greens add something to it. It's nice.
Yeah. Did anybody else try to deliver to Rainbow, the new place in Silver Spring that Cheryl had hooked up? No, okay. I did, and it was ultimately incredibly easy. But if anybody's interested in knowing more about that Silver Spring drop-off, I think it's a work in progress. But they would love the soups. They were delighted to get them. I brought them 15 and they were very happy. And they're there for many hours. So if Silver Spring is convenient to you and you want to know more, just reach out to me and I'll try and talk you through it. It's a little confusing because I think we're going to end up, getting a better process because they had told us to come anytime between then and then, but during then was their car drive up. So I said, why don't we deliver before or after? And he goes, oh, that'd be good too. So we'll work it out, but they're very nice. They're very grateful. They have great need. And they're there for a lot of hours. So we can really find some convenient times to make this happen.
And I'm assuming that Here to Help is not going to be collecting on Sunday. Is
You're
that right?
probably right. She
Okay.
never remembers to tell us that, but I will check in with her and I'll let you know. I'll let Julia and Betsy know. Everybody else, I don't know. Julie, do you deliver to Here to Help? The one in downtown? All right, I'll let the three of you guys know if Hetty tells me they're not collecting.
Thank you.
Did you tell us last week that the Rainbow Place, or was it Cheryl who told us that they want pints, they don't want quarts, they want the half?
No, I was telling you that we are in talks with SAMU, a place that runs a respite center and a welcome center in DC for the migrants up from the southern border. And they think that they might want the half pints. You know what, Marge, if you've got a supply of those half ones, just go right ahead and send them over to whoever you're giving soup to, because all of them really have some single folks and they can give them a single serving instead of like a quart. It's fine.
Rainbow said they'd be happy to take the pints as well, and had the seniors that they see that they take it to across the street, basically. So they'll take anything.
Okay. I always do deliver the pints to, the smaller containers to them, but I thought they wanted exclusively. So that's not it. You're talking about.
It was SAMU, yeah. But then, the next time it takes a long time for an organization like that to make a decision. The next time I spoke to them towards the end of last week, they were talking about maybe just wanting like huge containers and they'll put it all in a crock pot and serve it that way. So I'll let you know when they reach a decision. They don't have one yet.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So it sounds like everybody's kind of towards the end of their soups. Everybody's good. Terry, what happened to your 6 o'clock dinner with your husband every Monday? That's taking a back seat.
This is a crunch day for him. My daughter gave him this thing for Christmas last year called Storyworth, where you basically get a different story every week, a prompt each week. And so he did all the prompts and he's treating this like the great American novel. I mean, he got an extension until April 4th to send things in. He's been going through pictures and writing captions, and it's like
wonderful.
Long, and they're going to, bind it, in a book. And he wants to know how many people want a copy of his book. And it's like, no.
That is wonderful.
So he's really, so he's at the computer, just kind of getting that in so we can get it to them tomorrow.
Oh, good. Because he needs to be clear of that, time deadline by the time he's going to become your nurse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's exciting. I love that. All right, I'm gonna play us out. I think we need to hang on. If where'd my music go? All right. So everybody, if you're celebrating Ramadan or Easter or Passover or none of the above, have a fantastic week. Happy holidays if you're doing anything. And I'll hope to see you and cook Marge's adorable little butternut squashes next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, fun.
Bye.
Joyce, call me before you do anything.